The plant pictured here is Aglaonema commutatum, the Chinese evergreen. Chinese evergreen is a multi-stemmed houseplant that can get up to 3 feet tall. As you can see from this picture, it's pretty densely leaved, so it grows in a nice, dense clump. Here you can see the stems. This is a cultivar that has reddish coloration in it, but the stems don't always have that, so don't count on that for ID. They could be white or green. But if you'll look closely, you'll notice that we have sheathing leaves on this plant. So again, that petiole is wrapping around the stem. Aglaonema commutatum has long leaves. They're usually a bit under a foot long and around 4 inches wide. The leaves are much larger and longer than the petioles. Also, you can see in this picture an example of the variegation that we find in Chinese evergreen. Usually the variegation is around the midrib or the major veins of the leaf, and it can vary in color from the yellowish green shown here to sort of a grayish green to even a reddish color. Also, you'll notice if you look carefully that we do have arcuate venation on this plant. Those veins aren't quite as bent and curved as what you might find on, for example, a cornice, but they do have a distinct curve to them. Here you can see an example of some different cultivars of Chinese evergreen. So you can see the variation in the color of the variegation, but again, it's still mainly by the midrib and the major veins of the leaf. Here you can see the leaf underside. You can see the major veins on the underside of the leaf, but not all the minor ones. So this is not a reticulate leaf. And that's going to help you tell it apart from some of the other houseplants that we talk about. Also, it's worth noting that the leaves of Chinese evergreen are very glossy. Flowers aren't terribly common on this plant, but here you can see what they look like. In the middle, you can see the yellowish-green spathe, which surrounds a whitish-yellow spadix, and then behind that green structure in the middle of the picture, you'll see a flower that's already started to dry out and turn brown, but it is a spathe and spadix type inflorescence. So with that, we conclude our discussion of Aglaonema commutatum, the Chinese evergreen.